All right. What is your definition of the good old days?
What did I didn't hear? You said what was what?
What is your definition of the good old days?
Oh, it was the good old days. Things were more relaxed. People were more satisfied. You did not necessarily want all the things that people want today because they didn't have televisions and computers and iPods and all this stuff, cell phones. Usually, home would have one telephone, but it would be maybe online with two or three other families, and called a party line. And so that pretty much sums it up. It was just much more relaxed. People were kinder. That was a real major thing. People were kinder. People were kinder to others. There was sure there was violence, but nothing like the violence they have today. People just much more relaxed, much more satisfied. If they had a job and could earn enough to support themselves and their family, well, they were pretty well satisfied. A big thing would be to go to the movies maybe once a month, So that's pretty much it on that.
What type of living conditions did you live in?
What type of living conditions?
Yes.
I grew up on a ranch in Corona, and it was a chicken ranch. My dad, your great grandpa, he raised chickens. We had at that time we thought we had a lot, but by today's standards, there weren't a lot. We had about 12 to 15,000 chickens, and we raised chickens for eggs. And so I grew up there, and I had to work. Sometimes before school and 100% after school. And you always had to work on the weekends. And you got some free time, but you didn't get anything like the free time you had today. And you did not get paid to work for your parents. You worked because you were part of the family. Everybody in the family did some kind of work. And so, but you also had the advantage of had a horse, and we raised, of course, our own eggs, and we had a cow, so therefore we had our own milk, and you could make ice cream. We had our own orchard with fresh peaches and apricots and nectarines and all kinds of fresh fruit. We had a garden, and so it was nice that way. And we'd raise a calf, and butcher our calf, so we had meat to eat. So it was nice that way. But it was simple. Everything was simple. A fun day would be going out in the field with some neighbor kids and playing baseball, or playing. Well, we didn't play football too much, but usually just baseball. Or at nighttime, you'd play tag, and just very, very simple things. Because again, your entertainment as far as electronics was a radio. They did not have television.
Right.
So that was nice growing up there.
How much energy did you use or did you require during the good old days?
Well, we didn't require too much energy. Of course, we had electricity, but our heat in our home was forced air heat. It was not forced air heating like now. We have natural gas and propane. We had a furnace with heating oil, and you'd have to fill the furnace with heating oil, and that was it. But you was very conscious of it because you had to buy the oil that went in there to lit. As far as electricity, again, you didn't have televisions and computers and all, but we had electricity to read, and you did a lot of reading in those days. That was your entertainment. You'd find a good book, and you did a lot of reading. but we had no air conditioning because people in those days didn't have air conditioning. We had what they used to call a swamp cooler, and during the very hottest days, so maybe you'd run that swamp cooler, which is nothing but a water cooler, just water going over filters and then a fan blowing across them to blow cool air into the house. But, we had wood heat a lot, and you'd do that. And my mother, your great-grandmother, at one time even cooked dinners on a wood stove. But that didn't last long, and then she got a regular electric stove and cooked on it. But you did not have microwaves. You didn't have anything like you have today. You did not have ice makers or nothing like that.
What type of foods did you generally eat? Were they packaged or unpackaged or handmade?
Unpackaged and handmade. You would, you could buy bread and stuff like that, but we had our, my mother would make bread sometimes, not all the time, but she would do all kinds of baking. We never, ever had store-bought cookies or cakes or pies. You did not have crackers. You didn't have any snack food. Your snack, if you wanted a snack, you'd eat a piece of fruit. You'd eat an apple or you'd eat an orange. We had lots of orange trees around where I lived, and you just go pick an orange. Or if you'd be outside and you want an orange, just go pick it off a tree and peel it and eat it. And grapefruit, but no packaged foods. I'm sure there was some canned foods and so forth in those days, but again, my mother, she did canning. She canned a lot of different fruits and some vegetables. She did canning, and that was kind of a family project.
What type of fuel did you use for cooking?
Well, I've already said that at one time we used wood, but that didn't last very long. And then, other than that, we used electricity.
How were you transported from place to place?
Walk. By your own two legs. When I went to school, I rode a school bus. And if I missed the school bus, then I had to walk. And you better not be late. And you did a bicycle, had a bicycle. And like I told you, I had a horse, but my horse was for just pleasure, and didn't use it to go anywhere in particular. I was just going over to a friend's house and where we'd go ride our horses together. But it was mainly a bicycle, and of course my father, they had a car, but he had a ranch and he had one car. One car. There was no two cars, or not everybody had a car. They had one car.
Compared to modern times, do you believe that the demand for gas was essential as it is presently?
Okay, you're going to have to repeat that.
Basically, the short summary of it is, was gas as essential back then as it is now?
Oh, goodness, no. No, not at all. Not at all. No, people only had, there was one car to a family, where now families have a car for every driver. And, it's just, no, not at all. Not at all.
Sorry, continue.
No, that's all.
Did the style of how you dressed, like fashion-wise, matter to you back then as it matters to people currently?
No, not at all. Clothing stores in those days consisted of Sears and Roebuck catalog and J.C. Penney's and Montgomery Ward's, which was a lot like Sears, and pretty much the same. They're not in business any longer. And that was about it, and for most of the clothes, you had school clothes. Kids, you had boys, I can out, you know. They'd have a pair of jeans they'd wear to school and a shirt. And of course you had a jacket when it was cold and all, and shoes. And then when you came home, you took off all those clothes and put on your at-home clothes. And your at-home clothes were older Levi's and older shirts, and then that's what you'd wear when you worked. Those clothes were either the clothes that you wore the year or two before.